Okay, hello everyone. Coming to you from where I was born and raised, West Auckland. So this is just in my backyard, and today's topic is what is it? Yeah, 10 years being away from my home country, New Zealand, and living in Japan. Some things to talk about. Let's talk about it. Coming back to New Zealand after 5 years, let alone 10 years. There's a lot of things that happen, and the one thing I'd like to say is instead of let's say culture shock, I've got reverse culture shock, and that's when you live in Japan for so long that your own country you get shocked by the way that things are. And I'll go through a few of them, and not only that, I'll talk about some other ideas or thoughts I have about returning home after, let's say, at least 10 years. Let's talk about the shock. So when I came home, and then I went to the supermarket, and I think the supermarket summed up a lot of this reverse culture shock. So the number one was if you're in Japan, you'll probably just see mostly one race, to be honest, and that's Japanese. So going to the supermarket and just seeing different types of people, especially in West Auckland, there's a real mix. When I grew up, I didn't see as many, but I did hang around with all types of people. But anyway, I went to the supermarket, and I kind of felt like, where am I? Because there's so many different races, and that sounds really simple to be shocked at, but yeah, because when you're in Tokyo, or even anywhere in Japan, I think you just accept that you're the only foreign guy. You know, that's just how you feel. You're the strange guy, and everyone else is the same. But when you're around here, you just feel everyone's different. Everyone looks and acts a little different, so you're nothing special. That's interesting, right? Okay, another one was supermarket workers were friendlier. I'm not saying that they weren't friendly where I live in Tokyo, but when they'll ask you how's your day going and stuff like that, and then you can smile and all that. But where I am in the middle of Tokyo, like this small talk doesn't exist. It's just you just go in, give your food, they scan, and you pay. So that's something else that kind of shocked me. I'm not used to friendliness, so when I felt that, I thought, oh, how do I act? Because I'm not used to that feeling. It's been a long, like I've been there 12 years, so 12 years of conditioning of a different culture really does change you. Another one was, I go for a walk outside. I like walking outside. It's kind of that's all I do. 1 hour walk a day after dinner, or even in 30 minutes in the morning, and 1 hour after dinner, 30 minutes after dinner. And when I went to walk around my area out west, there's like a walking area by a creek, and then I have to point out, like, it's the white folks would just when I walk past, they would smile, go hi, good morning, something, or hi, or that kind of thing, and that kind of it made me feel happy. It made me feel good, because you don't get that where I am. I mean, it's a city. Even in Auckland City, you won't just walk past a local guy and go hi if you don't know them. But when I walked around here, as you can see, there's just outside my way, there's a lot of trees there and nature. So it's nice to walk outside. People walking their dog and the elderly walking, and when I walk past, I just go hi, and smile. But I did realize if you're foreign and you've only been here for a bit, it's not your culture to say hi to people as you walk. And I get it, but that feeling was really good, and it made me question, like, these kind of smaller, when you get a lot of these small, how would you say, positive feelings, it does make you think, why am I in Tokyo? I'm well into my into my career, 7 years or so. So it's not hard for me to find something. But anyway, it is something that came up which I didn't expect. It's kind of shocking. Another one, it's not so much reverse culture shock, but it is the shock that I can speak the language that everyone else speaks natively. And that's something I didn't realize till now, that working in another language, especially if you're not, I'm let's say fluent, but I'm not native, and I will never be native. And the level of the level of proficiency I can never get to the point in Japanese that I am in English. Of course, I'm fine. My clients will only speak Japanese, but still, when I was looking around and just talking, I'll give you a real simple example. We're trying to find a way to make units in our backyard. I'm thinking of purchasing a unit off the backyard, or something like this, right? And just calling up the council or calling up local companies in English is just such a stress-free process. Anything in another language or country, man, they when you call up any company or something, they don't use low-level language that a second language speaker would use. They'll use real strange words or real official words. Verbs and nouns would be, it won't be some dumbed down level. Which, I'm not saying I have dumbed down language, but the more dumbed down you speak to me, the more I understand in the second language. So just the language part, which, it just makes me think, why am I struggling? Why am I, what's the point? It's interesting. Of course, maybe after a few weeks, I would think I want to go back to Tokyo, but we'll see what happens. That's interesting. Another one is I'm staying in my spare room in my parents' house, and there's a lot of space, and there's a massive driveway. There's just a lot of space, and that's something. It is. I think when you come from a place of of abundance of space, not abundance, but more or less abundance, and you live in somewhere like Tokyo where you're living in a box. I've been living in a box for 12 years, more or less a box. I can't afford to rent a massive, you can never rent a place like where I'm staying now in New Zealand you just can't do it. I mean, you can. It's got to become a millionaire. That's not going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, space and people space. When you go to the supermarket, it's massive. It's like Costco style, right? We have a supermarket called Pack and Save, and just the amount of space it just makes you feel feel a lot more free than in Tokyo. In Tokyo, there's no space, so it's just like any other massive city. So I kind of said the good parts, but let's say the kind of negative parts of it is, I don't want to go too. When you live in Japan for a long time, I was on the plane, I was talking to a guy on the way here, and he was almost like me, but 30 years later, or 20 or 25 years later, and it was interesting, when you live in a country that's a high trust country, high trust society, and people don't annoy other people, or they're quite respectful of that. It's very different here. I live nearby some lights, and people just put their music up way too loud. It's not even necessary. I understand I like my music loud too sometimes. When I was young, I did, but just the level of just disturbing of the public, that kind of culture. I don't know things, and I think that's what Japan will do to you. You won't turn alt-right or anything like that, but you will respect tradition and culture a lot more, because you can see there are obvious benefits in Japan to keep it. I don't get in trouble and all this. People, yeah, if you get triggered, I don't care, but there are benefits to how they've kept their country. And I'd like to change the scene and a little more positive. So I'm just walking down my street. It's not my street, but the walkway, and you can see that it's beautiful. Beautiful day today. I don't have sun lotion, which I should. But anyway, I would like to make a positive note after the negative. You got to balance out. You can't be a doomer 24/7. I just walked past some people, and they're walking their dogs and puppies, and I was just talking to them. How old are they? And after I said, have a nice day, and that kind of stuff. this video is more about culture, right? That's what I'm trying to close this up somehow on a positive or some type of on a good note instead of being negative, as I think, Anyway, and that's the part which, when you live in Japan for so long, and if you go back to your home country, you start to see the really good parts of your home country. And I know each country is different, and some countries have war and all that, which is terrible, of course. But and I think there might be a point where you've been here for such a long time that maybe it's you can live a dual life, living a dual life in two countries that you really enjoy. And even though and I was out with my brother drinking at a few places, and people are really friendly. You can talk and joke around, and that kind of stuff. It's different in every country, right? So that's why I will be trying to live both in New Zealand and Japan, and then keep my IT work around. So I want to live my life a certain way, and then my work will accommodate how I want to live my life. And it might be a little difficult, and it might take some time, and it's probably a lot harder to do than just getting a job, just getting a proper, a wage job, which I was talking to some recruiters in New Zealand. It's quite easy. I wouldn't say it's quite easy, but it's with 7 or 8 years experience. Yeah, let's just say it's pretty easy to get a job, a quite comfortable paying job in New Zealand. But I don't want to. I love to travel to New Zealand and Japan, and of course I want to travel to other countries. I want to go to Italy, I want to go to Brazil. But that's when you have a lot of money and a lot of time, then I can comfortably go. But anyway, the point I'm trying to say is, you don't have to stay in Japan and just live, just become Japanese and all that. You can find your own way. I don't even know why I'm saying that, because you probably already know that already. Oh, another interesting one. You know how you greet people, and this is in Japan when you greet, or when you meet someone new, you do. If it's kind of casual too, maybe you wouldn't bow, but you just some bow. I don't want to look like an idiot, but the way you introduce yourself to people, or you at a casual level, you won't handshake. There's no body touching. And then if you're out in West, I didn't know my areas like the ghetto or something. I didn't know that growing up. But here I think you shake hands. There's a way to shake hands. And if it's a business, okay, I like to shake hands and shake hands and nice to meet you, my name's Tyrone. And then some guys do this kind of thing, how you do the hand. Look, this is really hard to film, but on camera, but like that, and then you do that, and you bring them in. Well, there's different types of greetings depending on the person. And so, going out last night and drinking with my brother and meeting all these people, I realized it's a bit of that. But when I come in like this, and they go, oh, he's one of those guys, maybe he's a proper dude, he's a proper guy. And then you come, it's quite interesting. And when I meet, I don't know. But anyway, that's my video for today. And I'm sorry I haven't been posting so much. It's just Christmas holidays here, and I've got a lot of things, a lot of bugs to fix, and I'm trying to sort out 2023. But thank you for getting this far. Jump in the Discord. Everyone's always chatting about random stuff about Japan and IT. Add me on LinkedIn, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.